So here we are, day 3 or 98 days countdown to Ironman. It's a relatively busy day yesterday. Today is not so busy. Got a 40-minute just endurance run to do today, which is nice because my legs are aching slightly from yesterday's activities. Yoga last night was a real benefit. Briefly mentioned it yesterday. It was about stability and really focusing on the legs, and from the navel down to pretty much the knees and the calves. So yeah, it was good to stretch out and spend all that time really working on those areas that sometimes get neglected. So it was a really good session yesterday for yoga, and as I said yesterday, I really strongly recommend it. So something interesting happened yesterday while I was on the bike. One of those people that will talk. I'm always interested in other people's stories, not because I'm nosy or beaky, but because I'm intrigued by other people and their journeys. I was just having a chat with a guy while I was on my bike. He was wearing a triathlon t-shirt, and he mentioned his friend that was spinning next to him was actually also doing a triathlon, an Ironman. So we got talking, and it only happens that he's doing the same Ironman as me, which is amazing. I find particularly universally intriguing, just because out of the 1,800 to 2,000 people that are taking part, out of the whole of the world, out of every single gym, not forgetting every single triathlete that has been working for years, someone in my gym where the average age is over 60 is doing the exact same Ironman as me. So I just find that intriguing. So we've got to speak a little bit more. Not only that, yesterday I bumped into two people that I know who are on the GB swimming team, the GB triathlete team, or have been. And while I was in the pool, and it just got me thinking again last night after yoga about the law of attraction, which is something that I utilise in most aspects of my life. And the way the brain works, and how to utilise the brain within my training. And it seems that I always seem to attract the right people at the right time. I don't know whether this is something that happens to everyone, or whether it's just a select few. But I'm really grateful, eternally grateful and universally grateful for that. Because if I hadn't spoken to that man yesterday and been intrigued by his t-shirt, I may not have met two new people. And what I found is, by the people that I have met associated with the sport, the triathlon sport as a whole, incredibly generous with their time and experience and knowledge and friendship. And I don't know whether that's just because there's an element of respect there for what you're about to undertake, or what you're going through, or the commitment and dedication required, or whether it's just the sport attracts a certain type of good egg. There's no other real way of putting it. Good egg. Everyone that I've met so far, and I'm sure there are some undesirables, but everybody that I've met, and I've met quite a few people, from shop owners to manufacturers to just people, random people that you meet in the street, that just happen to be wearing some sport apparel that is associated to triathlons. So I guess what I'm saying is that just by being present more in the moment, giving a little bit more awareness over who's around me, I seem to already have met a new social circle of people that are genuinely nice. And I think that just comes down to being open enough to and welcoming advice as well. Again, as an individual, I want to improve, and I think all people that take this journey are looking for something, looking to improve, looking for not the edge, because I'm not a competing athlete, but looking to improve and better themselves, whether it's on a swim technique, whether it's on your riding position, whether it's on a new bit of kit that actually does help as opposed to just looks Gucci. I think because it's such an open sport, and there's obviously 3 unique disciplines, I think it opens up that space for people to ask questions. I know a number of other sports are very closed, very personal, very insular, whereas so far I've found, again in my limited time, the training where I've sent out emails, people are more than happy to reply, whereas other things I've done in my business career, personal life, I've sent out emails and people just can't be asked to reply. And again, it comes back to, you see a cyclist on the side of the road, and they've got a flat. I think if you're in this sport, you're more likely to be the person that pulls over and asks them if they're alright, or if they need a lift, or whether they've got a spare. I think that's fair to say. I think if you're that type of person, you're prepared to help out a little bit more. I don't know, it could be completely wrong. Maybe the people I know are just too willing to give their own advice, they're free up their advice. But yes, and again, I've seen people really intrigued. Just at yoga yesterday, people were like, "Oh, what are you training for?" And you start to explain what you're doing, and they seem to want to know more. And again, I don't know whether that's just the human race looking to be nosy and intrigued, or whether there's a genuine interest there. But for reading their body language and looking at them as individuals, I think there is a genuine interest in the sport. So yeah, I guess I'm grateful today. For me, is probably about gratitude, about appreciating the people that I've met so far, their commitment to their own training, and the dedication that they've needed. So I'm just off home now to go and have a breakfast. A little bit late this morning getting up. I'm going to have the breakfast, and then I've got a bit of work to catch up on. I'm going to be going out for a run. I'm going to try and get outside, and if the weather holds out, if not, it'll be back to the gym. And again, I'm not really keen on running on a treadmill, but I'd rather do something than nothing. So I will catch up with you later. Just going to make some fig koftas, really easy to make. Paprika, coconut flour, some chia seeds, 1 egg, 4 figs and some beef. You don't have to do it with the beef, you could substitute it for a vegetarian option. So we've got the beef, Crack an egg. And you've got 4 figs, which I'm just going to chop very lightly. Throw the figs in. Paprika, only a tiny amount. It's just really to add a kick. A couple of tablespoons of chia seeds. Again, just offering that nutty, rich taste. A couple of tablespoons, 3 tablespoons to start with coconut flour. And then I tend to mix up, see how wet the mixture is before adding any more. So here they are, the koftas. All I've done is mould them around a metal skewer, using a metal skewer as opposed to a wooden stick, so that when the metal heats, it cooks the inside of the kebabs. Also leaving a gap at the end here, so that when so it's easy to lift them up. That's the only reason why I've left it at the end. And again, I really like making my own food and things like this because it's connecting with your food. You're not just picking something off a shelf and sticking it in the oven and then consuming it. So preheated oven. So there we have it. Lunch today is some salamiak chips, beef kofta, and a small salad. The intention was to go outdoors for a run today, but the weather's decided to not be in my favour. So I'm going to go into the gym and do 45 minutes on the treadmill. I don't think there's going to be any awards for heroes during the 100 days. The last thing I want to do is get a cold or come down with an illness because I've been, I don't know, maybe ego's taken over, or to get a bit of extra footage at the outside. So just off into the gym now, 45 minutes, easy and moderate pace. Just got back from the run, made a real quick and simple mixed seafood salad. It's really good, really like this. Put a bit of vinegar and lemon juice inside. I'm going to top it with a tiny little bit of salt and a little bit of Worcester sauce. Not the most conventional smoothie that's out there, but I've got carrot juice, which I've juiced already, 2 handfuls of ice, and half an avocado that I had left over in the fridge. That's it from me for today. Thanks very much for everyone for their support on our Facebook page. Please remember to subscribe below and follow us on Facebook for more regular updates. Just finishing off this evening with a bit of light reading from John Mora, Triathlon 101. I'll do a full book review on that next week. But in the meantime, have a good weekend.